He's by far, hands down, the best musician I've ever met. The words of Andy Curran, talking about a gentleman who's really not gotten his due. In fact, in this clip, we talk about two artists who are underrated. The first is Kim Mitchell. Andy and I are big fans. Of course, the Max Webster former frontman, who's done incredible on his own. But it was a conversation I had with Kim Mitchell that started all this. I asked him, who is the most underrated Canadian performer? You're going to hear the clip right now. And then we'll go to Andy Curran. He'll talk about Kim and his favorite person. Well, who's your favorite Canadian artist?
Ian Thornley.
Oh, really?
Guy blows my lights out. Yeah, such an amazing musician, such an intense, emotive, expressive guitar player. Does all the things that I wish I could do. And yet, sort of a bit of a mutual admiration society there, too. He's a fan, but because we've done gigs together. So I like him.
Yeah. And John, getting back to what you said about Kim and Ian Thornley, I think Kim Mitchell is extremely underrated and one of the country's top musicians and amazing guitarist. You hear people talk about these guitar heroes, and I'll bring up Alan Holdsworth as a guy who Kim, I believe, has equally as much talent, and so Kim paying accolades to Ian Thornley is an interesting conversation, because Kim just doesn't see himself as that level of a musician. From the outside, I do, but I have to tell you, and this will shock you too, I mean this very respectfully to Geddy, Alex, and Neil. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of great musicians when I took a bit of a hiatus and started working with Ray Daniels at Anthem Records as the management company and the label side. And Ian Thornley, by far, hands down, I would say, is the most talented musician I've ever met in my life. He has just 10 scoops of ice cream on everything: his guitar playing, his sense of melody, his voice, his discipline. I have never met a musician like that in my life. And people would be like, wait a second, you worked with Neil Peart and Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson. Of course, those guys are there. But Ian, there's something about that guy, John, that I just, if you don't know about Big Rec and Ian Thornley, do yourself a favor and check this guy out. He is just one of our country's biggest gems.
Well, speaking of having stuff, now your process, did your purging involve more than obviously this album?
It did. The purging actually helped accomplish a couple things. I found out that I had duplicates and triplicates and all kinds of stuff, and I was like, I don't need 3 copies of this and stuff. So I actually donated some stuff to the University of Toronto Media Commons, and it's a really cool program they have there. Essentially, when a student comes in and is interested in a music project, if they want to know and research how it started from fruition to the end, they can literally go look at demos and handwritten lyrics and contracts and different mixes, and then see the itinerary of the tour. And they watch the lifespan of a record go of an artist's record or recording play out. So I thought that was really cool. So I kept some stuff that was near and dear to my heart. That was like, I don't, certain photos or backstage passes or anything.
We'll have more from Andy Curran in the next few days. He's celebrating the 30th anniversary of his debut album, Whiskey and the Devil, which gave him hits, touring with Rush, and some hit singles in there. We'll have more from him in the next few days. Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. Also, if you join our Patreon, you'll have early access to our videos. And you can also make a donation, all in the description of this video. And of course, links to Andy Curran and Coney Hatch as well. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Canada.